Fi, a phone plan by Google. Meet Simply Unlimited, our most affordable plan for unlimited.
I'll tell you about my work. Essentially, it's about Black Genesis. It's a book I've published with Tom Brophy, a physicist who lives in San Diego. And we got together a couple of years ago and we decided to publish this book with this rather provocative title. And I'll tell you about it. But I'll introduce the background to it. Because we began with myself, John West, you know John West? No? John West of the Sphinx, Robert Schoch, they're the ones who made quite a stir about the age of the Sphinx in the early 1990s. Graham Hancock, no, you don't know Graham Hancock. Yes, you all know Graham Hancock. Graham Hancock and I have written 3 books together, and we're actually bringing another one out in a couple of weeks' time. So I may as well advertise it. It's called The Master Game. And it's a fun book, but I'll actually discover what it's all about. And I should add, a very nice colleague of mine who is here today, Andy Collins, who has joined the Pyramid Quest. We've all started a rather big stir in the early 90s, where we challenged the established views about Egypt, and more particularly about the origins of Egypt. We weren't the first ones to do this, of course, there were others before us, but this kind of stirred the pot, and it shook the apple tree, as John West says. And the reason is that we got on television, and we made a big splash. And BBC got involved, and NBC, and ABC, and Discovery Channel.
Got the munchies.
They all loved this because it kind of provoked the situation. And the bottom line is that they were saying that ancient.
When you got tested for that shit, man? So you feeling bad, and then you went to the doctor and they say you got corona, or you got tested and found out you had it, or? So you just feeling bad or something, yo? Hey, man. You got the flu, bro. You got the flu, man. Seasonal flu. I ain't no conspiracy theorist or nothing, man. Hey, if your doctor say you got corona, damn, bro. That's fucking wild, bro. Man, yo, I'm wishing you a speedy recovery. You know what I'm saying? That what when you found out that they, well, I guess getting vaccinated now won't do anything. Hmm. That's fucking crazy. Oh my god. The doctors put you up in a hotel. Oh my god. So day before yesterday, you were at home, you were at work, you started feeling bad, and then you went to see your doctor like, "Hey doc, I don't feel good. I think I'm sick. Can you treat me?" And the doctors did their thing and said, "Oh, I think you got COVID. You need to quarantine in this hotel room." Mm, that's fucking crazy. Just came from the mall, feeling all groovy. You get to the house, you just start feeling bad. Like that shit just came down on you hard, like a pile of bricks, huh? Like, oh shit, they something ain't right with right now. You know, cause a cold or a flu, you can feel that shit creeping up on you like a day in advance. Like the day before you really get a bad cold or you get the flu, you already got like little sniffles, little stuffy nose, probably a little headache coming from right here somewhere, a little scratchy throat or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you can always see like right before you really get sick, but you just start feeling tightness and all kind of shit out of nowhere. That's wild. I'm gonna go grab another. That's crazy, bro. So what are they giving you for it? Like they got you on some morphine or some oxycontins? I mean, like if you already have it, like the vaccine doesn't make any sense, but to to help with the fucking aches and pains and all that shit, do they have you on any kind of prescription or what? The fuck is this shit? Tylenol, man. Y'all give me some perk tens or something, nigga. I can't go to sleep off of this shit. I need to rest. I need to be able to sleep through the pain, and Tylenol ain't gonna cut it. I'm gonna say they gave me some Tylenol. Some Tylenol, nigga. I'm about to die, bitch. What? Mm-mm. Nurse, let me get that morphine drip. Hook me up. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Tylenol? Nigga, is you crazy? I got COVID. Bitch. Mm-mm. That's the healthcare system for you. God damn. Motherfuckers ain't even want to give you ibuprofen. Niggas just give you Tylenol. Mm. No. If I get sick, whatever hospital you went to, I ain't going there. I'm not coming to that hospital. No, thank you. I I don't like taking drugs, but if the doctor got it, yo, I'm gonna take them drugs, bro. For body pains and body aches, they got something to numb that shit up, man. I'm telling you, shoot me 100 cc's of morphine real quick. You ain't gonna feel shit. You ain't gonna feel shit. Yo, my uncle had back surgery, and they gave this motherfucker morphine patches. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh shit, not a morphine patch. He was like, yeah, it's time released. I'm like, how a patch know when to release the medicine? Mm. You can't give me nothing to get away the pain. Well, just sedate me, motherfucker. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just put me under. Where the anesthesiologist at? You? Come here. Make me go to sleep, because I don't want to feel this shit right now. Don't kill me. Just knock me out. You know? Just put my lights out for a couple hours. I hurt too bad. Fuck that. Ah, it's so hot. Mm. All right. Man said I got the Rona. And you was at the mall? Mm-mm. Yeah. Just like prison. I mean, like they should do. But, if you start feeling bad when you got home from the mall, man, your whole mall contaminated. Mm-mm. Motherfucker just want to buy a fitted hat and some socks and come out with Corona. My nigga, I just came for some sportswear. Now I got a coronavirus. You gotta answer the door. Man, y'all better throw a hazmat suit on and come in this damn room. I ain't gonna get up every time. Just so y'all can take my damn temperature. I tell you I don't feel good. The door is open. Come in. I'm not getting up. I said the door open. Come in. I ain't getting up. I ain't gonna get up. I know y'all ain't doing shit. Taking my damn temperature. Man, shit, nigga. It's unlocked. Shit. I'm lazy and I'm in pain. You know? Fuck that. And how long they say you gotta be there? That was the day before yesterday. Man, you got 2 weeks of this shit. Unless you start feeling better in a few days. But what, they still gonna have to keep you quarantined for the full 10 or 14 days or whatever? 10 days? Unless you got that new mutated strand that's coming in from India. I'm just saying. You might got coronavirus 2.0. You know what I'm saying? At least 1.1. Cause this shit done morphed a couple times. We have a new variant in the Congo. We have a new variant in Italy. We have a new variant in Japan. Motherfucker got the Japanese COVID 2.0. That shit more catchy. More like you gonna pull through, bro. You gonna pull through like a champ. You gonna come out on the other side with all your antibodies and immunities to all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker might go vegan after this shit, huh? I gotta eat better. I've been working on these commissions right here. I got one of them done, and then I went to go work on the other one. Yo, I worked so fast, bro. Them shit still wet. I grabbed that shit. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker ain't. I went too fast, so I gotta wait a little while before I get back on the commissions. So I'll just finish up this underpainting, and then I got one more underpainting to do for myself, and I'll work on that one. But Might have to go do some labeling tomorrow. So my organization, yo, we got a coffee, yo. We got our own fucking it's definitely not my first show. It's First Friday is what it's called. So before COVID, every first Friday of the month there would be art shows like all around the city. And everybody it just gives people a reason to come out and be out and about around the city. So like First Fridays is a big thing around here. So it's not my first art show, it's just First Friday art show. I've done fucking I'm not gonna lie, I would have to look at my resume to actually see how many shows I've done. Probably done like 50 fucking shows in the past years, yo. I've done so many fucking shows, it don't make no sense. Or been a part of shows, or, you know, two-man shows, or virtual exhibits, all kind of shit, man. I done been in so much shit. But it's always good to have a solo show. So this show right here is just all me. And now solo shows, I've probably only had like a good handful of those, like maybe like 10. I probably had like 10 solo shows where it's nothing but my work. So these are always really fun to do. Where, oh, who painted that? Who painted that? Who painted that? Me. Everything in here. You see everything here? I did it. It's my work. All of it. So I like shows like that. But shows when it's like multiple artists is cool too. So you can like see different styles and techniques. And then people like, oh, are you an artist? Well, which one is yours? You're like, I painted that one over there. Oh, I kind of like that. Yeah, but this show got 24 pieces in it. 23 paintings and one drawing. 23 paintings and one drawing. It's a lot of fucking shit. That is a big ass space though, so I wanted to be able to like make it feel like it's full of art. Cause initially I was just gonna put like 18 pieces in it. 17, something like that. 17 or 18 pieces. And then once I put all the artwork up, I'm like, damn, they still hella fucking space left. So I just like, fuck it, I just brought some more paintings. And as you can see, I still got a ton of shit in the house. Like if I put on a show with all my fucking artwork, I need like a whole gallery for that shit, yo. I need a whole big ass fucking gallery. I even brought out like some of my older paintings, yo. I'm talking about some shit from like 2009. This one old ass painting I did of myself. It was the first time I tried to paint a person, yo. And I just was like, well, what person can I paint? And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just paint myself. And so my first self-portrait, that shit looked shitty as fuck, son. Well, I really thought I was the shit, though. I was like, nigga, I'm painting. Boy, look at that shit, boy. I done painted myself, nigga. Can't tell me shit. Paint myself. Man. Now I got like so many fucking self-portraits. It's enough for a show by itself. It's so funny. Like, people are gonna be like, what the fuck? It's gonna be so funny, yo. It's gonna be good. It's a good show though, cause all my art is good. I only make good art, but just to see like so many paintings of just me, that's just gonna bug some people out, yo. All right, let's get to some painting. This is an after work stream, but it's fucking Friday. I was gonna go out of town, man, but the weather is all nasty and shit, bro. It's raining, and then I really wanted to work on these commissions, and I tiled my bathroom. And you know, when you do any kind of work like that, you're always gonna like fuck up the walls a little bit, some kind of way. So, well, me, cause I ain't no legit professional. So after doing all the tile work in my bathroom, I really need to paint that motherfucking bathroom again, yo. I got like, I had to scrape some places and mud and spackle and sand some shit, and then I really need to change the paint in there because I got flat wall paint in the bathroom, and the heat and the steam makes it bubble and crack every year, and I have to scrape it and paint it back because instead of getting the right paint for it, I just keep using the same dumb paint over and over. So I need to get some paint and really tighten that fucking bathroom up this weekend. I gotta cut the grass, paint the bathroom. Oh yeah, we got my organization got coffee, yo. We got our own coffee, but it's in like a generic bag, and we got some sticker labels made. But we got 300 bags of coffee with no labels on them. So that'll be one of the tasks for this weekend is getting labels on 300 bags of coffee. Um, and then I really need to finish setting up for my show. I gotta clean the bathroom and maybe mop a little bit. And that really should be it. But I don't know. Between oh yeah, because there's nothing Monday, so I definitely have the 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to get. I should be able to get everything squared away. Have to get some tables out there. That was the one other thing. Tables and tablecloth. Because I'm thinking I may set up a merch table. But we'll see. We'll see. My bad. I'm thinking all kind of shit I need to do this weekend. A lot of shit. Not a lot of shit, but enough shit to say, oh, I got stuff to do. You know, it's like I really do got stuff to do, though. Then the one homie keeps telling me to. I think he be bored sometimes. He just be wanting to have shit to do. Oh man, if you ever need some help doing anything, man, you know what I'm saying? Just hit me up. I paint that bathroom this weekend. I'm like, yo, can you help me paint this motherfucking bathroom, bro? God damn it, get that shit done in half the time. But they still some spots I need to scrape and mud and sand first and just prep that shit out before I fucking paint it. But definitely the painting part. It's always better to have an extra hand. One motherfucker can brush and one motherfucker can roll. Had that shit knocked out. Pow pow. Alright, as you can see, there's just very little left on this canvas for the underpainting. And this has been sitting so long that all of this is already... Oh. It's not dry, but it's dry to the touch. So yeah, it's been sitting for a minute already. So let me finish out these spots right here, block in this underpainting, start my next underpainting, and hopefully Saturday or Sunday, these commissions will be dry enough for me to work on them. I know it'll at least take me a couple hours to block that other underpainting in. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with the background. I took that picture in my backyard, and my backyard isn't like the most spectacular of scenery, so I just I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that background actually, so I might just black it out. I think I see like some geometric type shit going on. Not sure yet, but because I have been like doing like weird abstract backgrounds for a minute. Like it's something I don't know. I like abstract art. I'm not a big fan of abstract art, but I over the years I've grown to see like why people do like it. It's just kind of like free and fluent, you know, and it can have a lot of motion in it. Like I don't know. It's still not my thing, but it's kind of cool. So I was trying to like merge portraiture with abstract, kind of in a way that like the one other artist, I can't really think of his name, but kind of do it different, yo, and just have like honestly just have a abstract painting and then a portrait on top of the abstract painting. Is that like it's so basic and stupid, but kind of different because I don't really see. Like I said, there's some other guy who kind of does it, but not really. And so, I don't know. I might keep playing around with that idea for a minute. Portraiture. Oh shit. Uh, yo yo.
What up, though?
What up, bro?
Dropped my last man off. Riding smoke.
Yo, I'm on the YouTube stream right now. Yeah.
Okay, I just been catching your eyes on that shit. I'll let you later.
Alright. Yeah, my man's always trying to chat while he be driving, yo. I be scared to drive and be on the phone. But he like even I got the no hands Joan. And I don't know, it just seems like if you're in the car, I could talk to you. But for some reason, like trying to talk to somebody on the car phone, it just I don't know. I'm goofy as shit like that. It distracts me for some reason. My girl be doing that shit all the time. Just go. Where you at? I'm driving. I'm like, girl, get off the fucking phone. I'm on the speakers. So I'm like, that shit still be fucking. Like, should be fucking my damn head up. Where? Where are my photos? Alright, so swapping out. Gotta swap out the pig. So this one is done. That's done, son. Right there. Oh, damn. Optical illusions, right? You know, optical illusions. I love shit like that. But so that goes in the done pile. All right, we don't need that one at all. Anything more? What I need is wham. This photo. All right, so got the picture. Oh dang! I got paint. I got paint all on there. Shit. See, that's why I tell people like, oh, I'll send you a picture. Like, don't send me no picture. Send me a digital copy of the picture. Cause you send me your original picture, especially like some old shit. That's the only one you got. I'm about to fuck that shit up. Don't send me no pictures. I'll print my own pictures out. Oh damn, they got a lot of paint on it. It ain't really gonna matter much cause it's just on the back part anyway. Alright, so we gotta block this in, block this in. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. Well, if I can, I'll just do this all gray because it has a bunch of little holes in it, and I'll just. Or should I do it all black? No. Alright. This is gonna be black. This is gonna be gray. Yeah. Alright.
It's probably much better than we think. Nothing more than that.
Where is
that
this?
Got the academic world very, very upset. When I published my first book, The Orion Mystery, it's kind of weird when you publish something that is original and kind of touches the vein. I knew it did because, boy, I had Egyptologists, I had archaeologists, I had philologists, I had everybody with an ist after his name trying to shoot me down. And if it was the 16th century, I would have been dragged in the street and probably burned. But they couldn't do that. And so it went on for years, you know, and I've been called all sorts of things, some other weird ones. I mean, apart from charlatan and madman and liar, and there was a few odd ones like Zionist. That came from Mr. Hawass, Mr. Dr. Hawass, the ex, I'm very proud to say, Minister of Antiquities. Mr. Hawass used to say, I remember at the beginning, Robert Boval, who is he? He comes here, that's his famous, he's Mr. Boval, Mr. Y, Mr. X, they come here at the pyramids, they make material, they go back home, they drink a bit of beer, and that's it. And in 2 months, no, 1 month, they're gone with the wind. That was 15 years ago, and we're still here. I hope you have the pleasure of hearing Graham Hancock one of these days here, but our battle cry is, when I ever call Graham Hancock, we're still here. Yeah, so another little parable I like to say is...
Got a hole in that tube of paint, yeah?
Things can
I need some grays,
dramatically.
some grays, some orange and brown. So I need some green.
And the opportunities are always there.
Green
Even now,
and
blue.
blue.
You take a left turn instead of a right turn.
Well, actually, I can probably get away with.
You take a holiday somewhere instead of another place, and things change.
Black and brown. Yeah, let's see.
It's a life so full of opportunities. And one of the most dramatic change, and I call it the syndrome of the apple. You know the old story of Newton, the apple falls on his head and suddenly boing, and things. He asks the question.
Fuck.
When there is something that is an anomaly, like crop circles,
I need some more of this.
Somebody says, how do they do it? Well, he asked, why does an apple fall? Now, it's amazing that for thousands of years before him, apples fell, pears fell, plums fell, bricks fell, arrows fell, lots of things fell. But for some reason, nobody clicked to ask the question. But asking the question isn't enough, of course. He pursued it. And sometimes when you pursue something like this, it's very much against the odds, because you're going to go against the established view. We know all these stories, Galileo and Copernicus and you name it. But somehow he did pursue it. And the reason we're here, I'm talking to a mic, and we're going to the moon and soon to Mars, is because he asked the question. It's quite amazing. One simple question. And it led to the discovery of gravity, laws of mechanics, and we may one day fly to the stars. Well, we all have this precarious apple that hangs on our heads, this symbolic apple. Whatever your apple is, if it ever falls, pursue it. I'm serious. A lot of people say, well, we'll leave it to others. You know, if it's a scientific question, let the scientists work it out, and so forth. I gave a talk in London the other day on cosmology. And people say, okay, cosmology, but it's for the astrophysicists and the physicists, and they study the galaxies and the stars and the origins of the universe and so forth. No. Cosmology is every single one of us. Every single one of us, including the Pope, and President Obama and President Mubarak, have the fundamental questions that are cosmological. Where do we come from? Who are we? What are we? And where do we go once the body dies? They're fundamental questions, and that the answer of these questions, or the pursuit of the question, is cosmology. Some our scientists are looking there, and they send Hubble and they take pictures, and I'm very privileged to know some of the cosmologists in this country. You have some very good ones, Chandra Wickramasinghe at Cardiff, and a variety of others. Kaku Michu in the States. We had Carl Sagan, you remember Carl Sagan of Cosmos? Carl Sagan said something fantastic. He brought it down to one phrase, one statement to describe what we are. He said, we are star stuff. Amazing. We are star stuff. There's a star, some 4, 5, 6 billion years ago, somewhere out there in our galaxy that blew up. And it's part of its matter got captured by our star, which is the sun, formed the planets, and billions of years afterwards, here we are. We are star stuff, but I add just one more little word. We are star stuff, become conscious. What an amazing thing we are. That's each one of us. And it seems to me that the knowledge of everything is not out there. It's in our own cosmos. We are made of the matter that the universe was created. It's in us. We tend to take things for granted. As I am wondering about here, I'm actually performing the laws of gravity. And I don't think about it. There you are. My brain has worked it out perfectly. As you pick up as you play tennis, as you play golf. See those guys who play golf in this tournament and they shoot a ball, and boy, they worked out everything, the air friction, the pressure of the ball. It's amazing. It's quite amazing. And yet they do not only think about it. If you ask them to sort of explain it scientifically, they don't. They can't. I remember once, I mean, here's how weird it is. You put some sugar on a spoon, and you take a little lick, and you taste sugar. We all know what sugar tastes like. Now, a scientist decided that he was going to explain in an equation, in an organic equation, what sugar tastes like. And he produced 300 pages. 300 pages of equations, sorry, to explain what sugar tastes like. You don't even have to explain it, it's there. You can do it in a fraction of a second. I say this because at my age, I've become extremely conscious that not only we're extremely mysterious, but we're extremely precious. We each are endowed and equipped to have an exciting life on this planet. So I'm going to tell you about my apple. It's not an apple, it's actually a photograph. Can we, okay, let's do this one. Next one. All right. Now, the established view, you're looking at the plain of the Nile Valley in floods. It's a picture taken from an air balloon in 1872, when the Nile still floods, but when the flood actually reached Lower Egypt in the Cairo area. But since 1965, they built a dam which blocks the natural flood. Apparently the dam blocks 11 floods. God forbid if it ever breaks, because even one flood, a big flood, would cause havoc. And you're looking at, if you look at the top there, can you see it faintly? More to the left there, more to the right there. Oh, I've got a pointer, I forgot. Somewhere there, right? See that? Is the plane, no? Well, look, it's on the top right, okay? You can't see it, right? It has to be dark. Yeah, well, up there. Is the plain of Giza, and without pyramids. I've actually did a bit of, how do you call this, Photoshop stuff. So, here is the story, and we're going to condense it in a matter of seconds, and you're going to move the 3 slides very fast. Can you go ahead? Because we're going to build the pyramids very quickly. There. Well, Egyptologists have argued for years, you know, they were built in 20 years, in 10 years, in 50 years, and there's all these arguments, and they used 100,000 slaves, and now they say, no, they used 20,000, and the fact is that they built it. And just by curiosity, how many of you have been to Egypt and saw the pyramids? Quite a few, huh? Well, for those who have, you know what I mean. It's a hit. I've lived 3 years, the last, from 2005 to 2008. I've lived many years in Egypt, but I lived from 2005 to 2008, literally in front of the Great Pyramid. I had a flat overlooking the Great Pyramid. I saw it in the morning, in the evening, at breakfast, at lunchtime, in the dark, with lights, in winter, in summer. I've had a bellyful of the Great Pyramid. And I can tell you that. You wake up in the morning and you go there with a cup of coffee and you think, it shouldn't be there. It's too big. Really. It's too large, it's too perfect. It's provocative. It's a giant question mark that looms there in front of you. And maybe that's what it is, like your crop circles. It's provoking us. It's the ultimate apple. Ask the questions. Who put it there? When? And the one that I got into is why? Why build this? And it stunned me.
And my thing is, yo, thanks, Face. My thing is, yo, it's all good, Chris. But my thing is like you said, it's too big, and the why did they build it? So, but The only thing about the pyramids is that just makes them amazing to me is that they did build it so large because apparently it was easy enough for them to do it. They did it. It wasn't like some unachievable idea for them. They thought about it as like, yeah, we can do that. And it's like, we still can't do that shit. I mean, global position tracking and satellites and smartphones and self-driving cars using artificial intelligence and all this shit. We can't still figure out how these motherfuckers stack some blocks on top of each other, yo. That shit bugs the hell out of me. Because for them, it was apparently something easy to do. The temple at Baalbek, another crazy megalithic site, and it's just like how did you make these blocks so fucking big? And like why would you do that? Why would you build it so large? The stone of the pregnant woman, man, look. I think they're slowly trying to chisel it out in a way and take chunks out of it though. I want to go see that shit before it's gone.
That these fundamental questions of a monument of that size, and we'll talk about it in a minute, were not properly asked. It was all wrapped up in a nice consensus, some megalomaniac pharaohs. Where is Hugh Newman? I was going to say megalithomania pharaohs, but build this. They wanted to build giant tombs to impress their population, and so they did. They mobilized their nation for dozens of years, and they built this tomb. Can we have the next one? There's a nice view of Giza at night. It's one of those things. There's a friend of mine who owns a small guest house. Literally, the picture is taken from his balcony. If you ever go there, try and visit Ghouta Fayed. He's a friend of ours. We go very often. He has this view all the time. And Ghouta says he stopped looking at it because it's so damn provocative. You know, it's very funny with Egyptians around the pyramids. They stopped looking at it because you can't. You know, the answers don't come out, and eventually you ignore it. A bit like, I suppose, with crop circles. No, when suddenly scientists got bored with it, they think, no. It's easier to say it's just some nutcases doing it, and that's it. Because to ask the questions is so provocative. It's so provocative. I wasn't going to talk about crop circles, but Francine showed a picture at the end of her talk. And I can tell you, I used to be a land surveyor and a building surveyor for many, many years. And if this was done overnight, there's no way. Now, I don't know who and what and how, but you can't do this. You can't set out something like this. It'll take weeks, if not months. I used to set out buildings, hospitals, airports, and I can tell you, we spend weeks and weeks and weeks doing this. So that alone needs an explanation. It demands an explanation. And it's left, you know, where are the scientists working on this? It's quite amazing. Well, with the pyramids, there they were, Egyptologists, you know, that's it, you know, their tombs and bye-bye. Thank you very much. Well, the problem is this. This is the problem as far as I'm concerned. Can we move on slide? Is you're looking at an overhead view of the Great Pyramid. Now, I'm not going to go into all these statistics. You can put St. Paul's Cathedral.
I don't know, like, even when I was really big in, like, alien conspiracy and ancient aliens and all that shit, yeah. I still never kind of believe crop circles. I'm just so skeptical about. I guess I'm kind of like Joe Rogan. Like I want to believe so bad, but and there is like sometimes there's some really good evidence, but a lot of the other shit is just like, psh, be for real. Like come on, yeah, be for real. Yo. Crop circles? Seriously? The fuck is that? But now Robert Brevald is saying he's seen some examples of crop circles that he feel as if they couldn't have been achieved overnight. And some of them are like pretty elaborate designs, but I seen a team of hoaxsters create them and show how people fake crop circles, just using like a little plank just to stomp the wheat or grass or whatever you're making it in.
All this stuff in it. Let me give you just a few, because the scale of this monument is literally frightening. I was with a friend at Stonehenge. Now, the ampler of Stonehenge, the actual circle, I don't know, estimated about 30 meters. You know, size of this, a bit more than this room, right? No, maybe twice this room. This room is about 20 meters, right? The base, oops, hello. The base of the pyramid, base. Each side is 230 meters. You would put about, I don't know, 15 Stonehenges next to each other. That's the size of this structure. It's 146 meters high, but that's not just its size that frightens and awes. It's precision. I usually like to give this little analogy. I bought this on a British Airways flight, my watch. It's one of these secondas you buy at 60 pounds. It's been a very, very good watch. It's worked for years. I've changed the batteries every 4 years and it's fine. And they tell me that it's accurate within 5 seconds a month. I'm happy. 5 seconds a month. I mean, I don't have any appointments that require that kind of accuracy. No. I'm happy with 5 seconds a month. But if I wanted this to be 100,000 of a second, I'd pay millions and millions of pounds. I'd need an atomic watch to do that kind of precision. This is the difference between high precision and normal precision. In any industry, they know this. Well, this is a high precision pyramid. It's accurate to 3 arc minutes. That's the accuracy. It's 5% of a single degree. Let me give you an idea. You put a dartboard there, and you put me there, and you give me a dart, and you cover my eyes, and I shoot the dart, and I hit the bullseye. That's its accuracy. It's true. And they're supposed to have done this. Well, I'm not sure. According to the results, they had nothing. They had brutal force and sticks. They didn't even have the wheel, no pulley, no iron tools. There is 2.5 million blocks in this structure, each weighing an average of 2 tons. And I'm not even mentioning the King's Chamber that contains blocks weighing 60 to 70 tons apiece, brought from Aswan. They're granite blocks, and they've been moved to a height of 50 meters. It's quite incredible. Egyptologists are not stirred by this. Well, I can tell you, engineers, architects are puzzled. I'm puzzled. And I don't know if I have time to talk about everything I want to tell you, but this isn't just, I mean, Andy knows this. There are temples which are known as the mortuary temple and the valley temples, prosaically. These temples are built with blocks between 50 tons and 200 tons. Now, let me give you an idea what a 200-ton block is, apart from its size. If you take 400 family cars and you squish them together, that's a 200-ton block. Today, we would have a serious problem moving a 200-ton block, let alone lift it up and place it to build a temple. And besides, you don't need a 200-ton block to build a temple. You can build it very nicely with little blocks.
That's that part right there.
So not only they use these blocks, but they're so damn provocative.
That's the point. You don't need a block that big. You can build the exact same temple with smaller, littler blocks, more manageable hand-sized blocks that a person can carry easily. No, we're just gonna use 200-ton blocks to build our temples. Make sure this shit earthquake proof. No mortar needed. And it's like, what the fuck? How did you move that shit? We'll never give up our secrets. Motherfuckers were master masons. Whatever they had in their fucking mystery schools. Who wiped out the dynastic Egyptians? That came with Alexander the Greek. The Greeks came in, and then the Persians, the Romans, and then everybody started coming into Africa after that, yo. So, like, the dynastic Egyptians went out. They went out with Alexander. He was the last person to really conquer and devastate Egypt, yo. And then after he died, his generals split that shit up. The Ptolemies, I think they were, and they just ran Egypt for a while. And the dynastic Egyptians never ever got hold back of that shit. But now it's just I don't know. They say Alexander burnt every fucking thing. So, all the records are lost. We don't fucking know. I was just listening to something about pre-dynastic Egypt. Those are the parts that I like to hear about, prior to the pyramids, like what was going on 1,000 years before the pyramids were built. Who were these people? Yeah. And this is so this is Robert Bauval, and the lecture we're listening to is called Black Genesis: The Prehistoric Origins of Ancient Egypt. And so he kind of clarifies that black Africans were the builders of the pyramids thousands of years before the so-called dynastic Egyptians moved into that area and found the pyramids. And this is, you want to see what Robert Bauval looks like? He's an Egyptian. And he talks shit about Haile Selassie, the old Egyptologist dude. Robert Bauval, Black Genesis. He breaks the whole shit down, yo. He tells you that the black man built the fucking pyramids, and that's why we can't figure out how they did that shit, because it was so fucking long ago. They just had some different shit, yo. Motherfuckers had different shit, yo.
They didn't have to use them. That's the questions. If you can tell me, and I haven't found the answer, if somebody can tell me in future
Like you
time,
said,
I'm puzzled.
they didn't. Like
I'm
you,
puzzled.
they didn't have the wheel. They didn't have the pulley. You know what I'm saying? But they moving 200-ton stones. How did they do it then? If they didn't have the wheel already, or a pulley system, or iron tools to fucking quarry all these fucking stones and shape these motherfuckers. And then somebody in the stream a while ago, we were talking about the same subject. The dude was like, "Oh, the pyramids are made out of concrete." Like that's how they got the block so big because they poured it. Like really, bro? Who has a fucking a mold big enough for a 200 fucking ton stone? You know what I'm saying? Think about it, bro. And then on top of that, we can identify that the pyramid is built of several different types of stone.
I don't know if I have time to talk about everything I want to tell you, but this isn't just, Andy knows this. There are temples, which are known as the Mortuary Temple and the Valley Temples, prosaically. These temples are built with blocks between 50 tons and 200 tons. Now, I'm going to give you an idea what a 200-ton block is, apart from its size. If you take 400 family cars and you squish them together, that's a 200-ton block. Today, we would have a serious problem moving a 200-ton block, let alone lift it up and place it to build a temple. And besides, you don't need a 200-ton block to build a temple. You can build it very nicely with little blocks, like we build houses. So not only they use these blocks, but they're so damn provocative. They didn't have to use them. That's the questions. If you can tell me, and I haven't found the answer, if somebody can tell me in future times why they use 200-ton blocks, you've broken a key here. Well, obviously they did. The question is why? Now let me tell you what. Sorry? Well, yeah, there's many ideas. But it's the equivalent of, okay, it's raining outside, and instead of taking your umbrella, you take your whole wardrobe with you. Makes sense. And see yourself carrying a wardrobe, you know. Why? Okay, you can ask me this at the end. But I'm saying this because there are, and these are very obvious, provocative questions. The one that needs to be answered, and that's the one I approach, is that the accuracy of this monument towards the cardinal directions is so precise, that it demands an explanation. Because building a pyramid that size is already a huge problem. Building a high-tech pyramid multiplies the problem 100-fold, like the watch. It demands to be answered. And I decided to somehow try and answer it from the book. First. You're looking at a graphic image of the inside of the pyramid. You probably know all this, but let me go very fast. The entrance is in the north. You have a so-called subterranean chamber. You go up a ascending corridor, along a horizontal corridor into the Queen's chamber, and then into this marvelous grand gallery, those who have visited know what I mean, and break into the King's chamber. And the thing that I will focus on, and it's the big deal, by the way, I'll tell you at the end, is those very narrow shafts that shoot out from the south and north walls of these chambers. So that's the inside. Nobody yet has provided a suitable explanation why they had to have this kind of interior. And no one, I can tell you because I was deeply involved with this since 1993 when the famous door, remember the door that was discovered? at the end of this shaft, at the end of the southern shaft. Nobody has come up with a logical, reasonable explanation why they build those shafts. And let alone put the door at the end of the ones in the Queen's Chamber. And by the way, Queen's Chamber and King's Chamber is just names as we give to these things. It's Egyptologists that call it the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber because they have no idea what these chambers are about. Can we have the next one? Well, what we began to find out, before my time actually, is that these shafts had stellar alignments. This was discovered in 1964 by Virginia Trimble and Alexandra Badawi. She is now, or was until recently, the head of the Astronomical Union in the United States. A very, very prominent astronomer who got involved, literally involved. She was having a lovely love affair with Alexandra Badawi. Alexandra Badawi, who died quite a few years ago, a rather famous Egyptologist. It turned out the perfect combination because he was an architect and Egyptologist, and she was an astronomer. And they posed the question, well, what are these shafts for? And she, as an astronomer, began to sense that, well, they might have alignments because the monument is perfectly aligned, it's aligned to the cardinal direction, there might be something, and it's pointing to the first clue was the northern shafts, because they were very obviously pointing to what we call the circumpolar region, where there is the polar star. In those days, the pole star was Thuban, Alpha Draconis. Today it's Polaris. Well, I'll go into that later. Because of precession, the stars shift. Incidentally, because of precession, you might be interested, I was going to tell this yesterday, was the heliacal rising of Sirius. So happy birthday, Sirius. It's the new year of the Egyptians. It's when the star Sirius would rise after 70 days of invisibility. Big feasts in Egypt in ancient times. But it used to be in the summer, around the summer solstice, and it's moved now 45 days. A little aside. This gave them a clue that there's something to do with the stars. And Virginia Trimble worked out, that was in 1964, that the southern shaft of the King's Chamber pointed to Orion's belt. And they published, and it was more or less well embraced by Egyptologists at the time. For some reason, they did not bother to check the alignment of the southern shaft of the Queen's Chamber below. And this is where something can go wrong in the pursuit of your apple. Some expert comes and says, this chamber is abandoned. I'm the expert, I know. And they accepted this. You follow? I'll tell you a good one. I remember Rainer Steidl was in charge of the operation of the exploration of the door, said, there's nothing behind that door. And the BBC man who was interviewing said, oh, well. And then I nudged him and I said, ask Dr. Steidl, how does he know that there's nothing behind the door? You know, does he have X-ray vision? Did he live in ancient Egypt? Did he build the door himself? I don't know. So, and he said, Mr. Rubal, don't be cheeky. I'm Mr. Steidelman. I'm the expert. Now they're saying the opposite, by the way. Never. If you believe in what you've got, never accept that somebody is an expert. They've been notoriously wrong. Notoriously wrong. There's a lovely book that is actually written, believe it or not, by the Institute of Expertology. Check it out. It's published in New York by two journalists. And they collected all these experts from ancient times to modern times. And there's some real gems here. You got, well, you know, the captain of the Titanic. It's never going to sink. The one I really like is the officer who led the charge of the Light Brigade. He said, trust me. It's true. So, of course, we listen to experts, but do not get stopped because an expert says you're on the wrong track. Because if we did, much of what we know today won't happen. Well, they did it. And I came in 1987, I was living in Australia at the time.
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google. Meet Simply Unlimited, our most affordable plan for unlimited data, calls, and texts, with rates starting as low as $30 per month for each line.
And not surprisingly, as you will see, the lower shaft pointed to the star Sirius. All right? I'll explain why in a second. Can we move? Now, what we see throughout Egyptian texts is a constant relationship between this design, and you can see, if you know a bit of the sky, it represents the Big Dipper, what you call here the plow, which is lovely visible, by the way, at this time of year, if you look north, or northeast and northwest, depending on the time of the night. Very, very striking. And since we're going to talk about Orion, if you get up at dawn, no, actually an hour before dawn, and you look east, and if the sky is clear, you're going to see Orion dominating the eastern sky this time of year. And it's about to herald the rising of Sirius, which hasn't still occurred in this latitude that we're in, about a week's time. So if you get a clear sky and you're willing to get up at dawn, have a look. It's very dramatic. You get very clear skies in England, by the way, if you don't get the rains and all that. Well, always representation of the northern sky with the Big Dipper, and on the southern sky, they represent the southern sky by Orion. They call him Sa. He's a man standing up. He was identified to one of their gods, Osiris. And here, the star Sirius represented by the goddess Isis. You find this always on sarcophagi. You'll find them on the top of roof of ceilings in royal tombs. If you go and visit the royal tombs, check. Which is clearly what we're seeing in the pyramid, but not in design. There is shafts pointing in the direction. Can we go 2 slides back and make sure we... Another one? Back. The northern sky and the southern sky. So the pyramid, in a sense, is not mute. By the way, one of the things about this pyramid, which I should have said, is that it does not contain any texts. It doesn't contain any text inside and out. Maybe I should say that it does contain a bit of graffiti in the so-called relief chambers. And in this graffiti, there is a faint suggestion that it is Khnum Khufu, the name of the pharaoh of the 4th dynasty, Cheops, although they don't know who Khnum is, and they assume that it's him who built the pyramid. Well, it's okay, it might be, but if you go at Piccadilly, well, you used to, I don't know if they've cleaned it up, you go at Piccadilly Underground, or the Empire State Building, or in many of these buildings, you might see Kilroy was here, right? So we will assume that Kilroy built all these buildings. To go on faint graffiti, which is very rough and to jump to this conclusion.
My main man, D1, what up, bro?
But we can't conclude simply on that. But what the pyramid does, it kind of eloquently speaks not in text, but with the language of astronomy, or as I like to say, astrophysics. We seem to think that the verbal word and the written word is the only way we communicate. Not so. Not so. Apparently only 5% of what we say is communication. The pyramid speaks. And I realized this and I said, I'm going to make it speak. I'm going to try and make it say, or at least say a few things, using that astroglyphic language. And therefore I had to study astronomy, which I did. But it's not difficult, some very basic, elementary astronomy. Just observation astronomy. Okay, can we move ahead? Another one? And it's not surprising, well, it is surprising that pyramids of the following dynasty, let me fix you up in time. Pyramids of Giza are supposed to be built, according to the Egyptologists, in the 4th dynasty by 3 kings, Cheops, Khephren, and Menkauhar, or Khufu, and Khafra.
Khufu, Khafra.
3 kings, 4th dynasty, at the early stage of Egyptian civilization. And kings that followed, kings of the 5th dynasty, although built very, very shoddy pyramids, much smaller pyramids, some 10 kilometers south of the Great Pyramid. But in contrast with the Giza pyramids, these are full of texts. There is 5 royal pyramids, we call them 5 text-bearing pyramids. And they constitute what we call today the pyramid texts. And you're seeing one of them, that's the pyramid of Unas. You can visit today the pyramid of Teti, well, I don't know after the revolution, but it should still be open. And literally see those texts. They're the oldest religious texts in the world, by the way. And they're original, have been interpreted, translated, or they are original. And they speak again of these 2 regions of the sky. And they speak of these 2 regions of the sky, the southern sky with the stars of Orion, and the moon one slide up. Here's a nice view of them. They're pristine, by the way. It's really eerie how they carve those texts by hand, and some of the details is extraordinary. This is one of the things that's very impressive in ancient Egypt, is the precision. Everything is done. They had hundreds of these Michelangelos about, it seems. Thousands. Okay, next. And well, if you read some of it, it becomes fairly obvious that what they want is the king, or rather the dead king, through ritual, to become a star, or what you would call an astral spirit. And he would join Orion. And they tell us very clearly, can we move to the next slide, that in fact Orion is identified, let's see it here, next one, well. The mythology, and I don't want to go through this because I'm sure you've been through it so many times, but very briefly, the Egyptians believed that there had been a creation, the cosmos was created, the sun god prevailed, many generations of deities. Finally, 4 deities are sent to earth: Osiris and Isis, and Set and Nephthys. They form 2 couples. Osiris and Isis become the first man or human gods to rule Egypt. Every single pharaoh believed to be a reincarnation of the son of Isis and Osiris, the god Horus. The story goes that Osiris was killed by his jealous brother. Isis, in her trauma, manages to bring him back to life and posthumously becomes pregnant and gives birth to Horus. Horus is the first king, man of Egypt, and each pharaoh adamantly believed that he was reincarnated Horus. 400 generations of pharaohs, by the way. When you think that they only found a few, Tutankhamun, one of them. So where are they all? God knows. That is the, it's not just the essential mythology, if you like, the nativity story. It is the principle of kingship. A king has to be proclaimed a living Horus. But when he dies, he himself joins Osiris in the sky and becomes himself a star in Orion, because they identified Osiris to Orion. So that's in a nutshell. It's much more complicated than that, but this is the essence of it. So clearly, let me go back. So clearly, there is something to do with this pyramid and these stars. I mean, it's sequence of logic. Okay, we move here. A friend of mine did this wonderful graphic where he removed the structure of the pyramid and left the rooms and the shafts. And if you could see through the structures, at a time when these stars would cross the southern sky, cross the meridian, as we say, that's what you would see. The pyramid, in a sense, is umbilically tied to these stars. These shafts, as I like to call them, and many Egyptologists do, are channels to the stars. I've got this thing about Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan saying we are star stuff. And you know I get the oogie boogies when I'm saying this? I do. Get it? I don't have much hair in my head, but I get it to the back of my neck. Is because they seem to have worked out what we know today. It seems that they explored the inner cosmos, what we call Gnostic search. There's two forms of searches. There's the outside one, and there is the inner cosmos. There's a whole cosmos in there. And one of the things I think we ought to do, I don't know how exactly, is to explore the inner world. The answers are there. They seem to have found things that are extraordinary. Not just this, many things. They seem to have found a way, perhaps through ritual, perhaps through, and they seem to need, this is the weird thing, they seem to need this hardware of the pyramids. The pyramids are the hardware of a very elaborate metaphysical science. This is a metaphysical machine, and it needs the software, to use jargon. And the software, I'm very convinced, is the initiated man or woman. You don't enter this pyramid just to take photographs. If you are initiated, and that's what I try to do on my tours, by the way, we'll announce one, is, okay, they would take 20 years, I take 10 days to just, but even just enough to know when you enter a pyramid that you enter the belly of a star. And it has directions. Just knowing this, and it begins to work. It begins to activate. And the processor, what seems to constantly go round and round and round and round, is the sky. You live on a planet. You live on a globe. And it has motions. It rotates on its axis every 24 hours, right? Please tell me right. It revolves around the sun in 365 and a quarter, a bit less than a quarter days. It does that. It did that for billions of years. And it wobbles. Very slowly. Very slowly. In 26,000 years performed one of these wobbles. We call this precession of the equinoxes. And because it does this, we're here. Because it does this, you have this wonderful world and lakes and rivers and oceans and mountains and birds and trees and crocodiles and the whole lot. Because if it didn't do that, it wouldn't be the same world.
Man, I'm calling the job and telling them you need some days off. Fuck all this shit. They about to work my nigga to death, yo. God damn.
I find it very strange to use this word. But I was speaking to my...
Oh, we got mandatory OT. Mandatory.
And he told me something that spooked me. He said the edge of cosmological thinking is that we've arrived at this conclusion, Robert. I can go for hours and blow your mind, but basically the conclusion is that this universe, not just this planet, this universe holds on two constants. The speed of light and the gravitation constant. If you tweak one by a zillionth of a fraction,
damn,
this universe
got that OT
work.
date. Y'all got 1 day off out of 7. That's wild. All right, I don't know. It's Friday night. I might come back up in here and paint some more. I got this. So like I said, I ran through those other underpaintings so fast, yo. They're not dry. Speedy Gonzalez with this shit, yo. So I gotta wait for those to dry. Got this underpainting done, but this is how I like having all my underpaintings done. Yo, I just got a stack of fucking paintings just ready to go. So now I have tons of shit to work on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This right here about to be 6. I got 6 paintings I can work on. That's how I like it. That's how I like it. Now I gotta really, really like forge a new idea for another like set of paintings. See. About to go play some video games. I might come out back up here this evening and work on this underpaint somewhere. What the fuck? Alright. So put this back in the pack. Put it back in the pack. Yeah, put it back in the pack. Yeah. Back in the pack. So where's the picture for alright. And I don't know why all these aren't in the same. All these can be in the same folder. These are all the paintings I'm currently working on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. Alright. Oh, shit. So this will be next. Alright. Got all the pictures together. Grab my phone. Alright, appreciate y'all chilling in room D1. Yo, show appreciate you taking a little bit of time out your busy ass schedule to come holler at your boy, man. Catch y'all next time. Peace.